Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make Starbucks imitation birthday cake pops. So let's just get right into it. First you're going to set the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you're going to need a vanilla cake mix. I like the super moist French vanilla from Betty Crocker, but anyone would work fine. And you're basically just going to follow the directions on the back to make the cake. But before we get started, I'm just going to grab my pan and set it to the side. Then you'll need a big mixing bowl and a whisk, and you're just going to empty your cake mix into the bowl. Make sure you don't throw the box away though, because it still has the instructions on it. Then, just following the recipe, I'm going to put in 1 cup of water, a third of a cup of vegetable oil or canola oil, and 3 eggs, and you can always crack them in another bowl and then pour it in if you're worried about eggshells. And make sure you still don't throw away the box because you need to know how long to cook it. Okay, so now we're just going to mix our batter really well until it's nice and smooth. Then we're going to grab that pan we put aside earlier, and I'm just using some pan, but you can use any oil to grease the pan. Then give it one final mix before pouring it into the pan. And then I'm just going to use a spatula to scrape all of the batter out of the bowl. And you just want to smooth it out so it's all nice and even in the pan. Then once the oven is hot, you're just going to place the cake in, and I set my timer for 25 minutes, but I only ended up needing 23 minutes. And you will know your cake is done when you can place a toothpick in it and it comes out clean. And you want to make sure not to overbake the cake or your cake pops will turn out weird. Then immediately out of the oven, you're going to put your cake into your stand mixer, and I just use a spatula to cut it up for easier transportation. Then you can put the bowl in and place the paddle attachment and turn it on low for about 30 seconds just to separate all the crumbs, and you can even see the steam coming out. Then you'll add a 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla just to make it taste more like the Starbucks flavor. And then you'll turn it on low until it forms a dough consistency like this. And if the cake was hot enough, it should form it all by itself without having to add any liquid. Okay, finally time to make our balls, and I'm just using a cutting board just because that's all I have room for in the fridge, but you can use a cookie sheet, and I like to use an ice cream scoop just to make sure all the balls are the same size. Then you can scoop and roll them in your hands just to make sure they're nice and smooth. And I noticed as the dough cooled down at the end, it got a little harder to make them smooth, so you want to try and do this process as quickly as you can. Then you can either pop them in the freezer for 5 to 10 minutes, or you can put them in the fridge for about a ½ hour like I did. Then right before they come out of the fridge, I'm just going to take a few of my coating chocolates and melt those in the microwave. Then I'll just use that chocolate to put a little bit on the ends of my lollipop sticks and place them into the cake pops so that when we try and coat them, they stay on the stick. Then we will pop those in the fridge for about 5 minutes to chill. And while those are in there, we're just going to melt the rest of the coating chocolate. And I'm just using a little spatula to scrape out the rest of the chocolate so I don't waste any. And then I realized I had too big of a cup, so I poured it into a smaller one so that it would be deeper. Then I just poked some holes in some cardboard boxes so I could place them to dry, but you can also use styrofoam or floral foam or whatever you have on hand. And of course I needed some sprinkles, but those are totally optional. So then I just took the cake pops, dipped them in the chocolate, put a few sprinkles on, and stuck them into the boxes. And I realized after the first one that my chocolate was a little bit too thick, so I just used a little bit of canola oil to thin out the chocolate, and it worked perfectly. Then I just repeated the process with all of them. And I quickly realized that the milk carton was just too deep and that a shallower box worked much better so that the bottoms of the sticks could touch the ground so they would stay upright. Alright, so I was done with the first batch, so I just melted some more chocolate and continued on my way to finish the rest of them. And I decided to place some of the Cake Pops back in the fridge while I was finishing the others, just so they wouldn't melt. Alright, and that is all, so your cake pop should be looking something like this. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below, turn on post notifications, and give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!